Hola, buenos días, bienvenidos, welcome to the Spanish channel. It's Grammar Checkpoint 10 time, and today we are going to be reviewing and practicing the simple past, also known as the preterite. This checkpoint complements lesson 18 on the main course, all about how to form the preterite. So if you do need a recap, then I'd suggest going there first, as today we're going to be pretty much getting straight into it and practicing how to use the preterite. Examples of the simple past in English include, for example, I listened, I watched, I played, generally formed by taking your infinitive verb and putting an ed at the end. And as we saw in lesson 18, there are a lot of irregular verbs in English. So how we do this in Spanish? So we're just going to focus on AR verbs for now. You take the AR off your verbs. So hablar, for example, take away the AR, you're left with HABL, and you add the relevant letters. So for the I form, it's an E with an accent. U form, aste. And he, she, or you formal is O. So let's put that into practice. If I were to say I spoke or I talked, so I'm going to take away the AR. It's the I form, so we're going to use yo, and we're going to add an E with an accent. So we've got hablé. If I were to say I listened, same process, take away the AR, escuché. And I improved. Take away the AR, mejoré. Exactly the same process if I wanted to say you spoke, you listened, you improved. I take away the AR, habl is my stem, and then I'm going to add aste. Hablaste, you spoke. Escuchaste, you listened. Mejoraste, you improved. You do exactly the same thing for he, she, or you formal. What about ER and IR verbs in Spanish? Well, it's exactly the same process in order to conjugate the verbs. It's just that the endings are slightly different. So, escribir, to write, that's an IR verb. If I were to say I wrote, I would take away the IR, escribí. I went out, take away the IR, salí. I ate, take away the ER, comí. Same process for the you form. So, escribiste, you wrote, saliste, you went out, comiste, you ate. Exactly the same process for he, she, and you formal. So, he wrote, escribió. She wrote, escribió. You formal wrote, escribió. Likewise, to eat, he ate, comió, she ate, comió, and so on. Hopefully you recognize this grid from lesson 18, where we conjugated verbs in the preterite. We also obviously looked at how to say we, all of you, and they as well. So here are your columns with your endings, depending on the pronoun you're using. Step 1 today, could you please mix and match the Spanish infinitive verbs to the English? There are some new ones there. Step 2, for all of these regular verbs, I want you to conjugate them in the preterite. So, I listened, find your verb to listen, escuchar, remove the ending, it's an AR verb, it's the I form, put an E accent at the end, escuché. Okay, come back to you shortly with the answers. Y listos en A, B, C. Okay, here are your answers. I'm just going to leave those up for you for a moment so you can check against what you've written. So, in lesson 18, I did speak to you a little bit about the fact that there are irregular verbs in English and also in Spanish. We haven't seen those yet, so what I've done for you is I've made a list of 5 common irregular verbs in Spanish. So we've got ir, to go, ser, to be, tener, to have, hacer, which means to make, and it also means to do, and leer, to read. Okay, it's the same process here where with your pronouns followed by the conjugations. Okay, you will notice patterns forming. For example, we've still got imos, 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 imos. It's just the beginning of the verb is different. One thing to note is that in the preterite, now this is a bit odd, I do admit this, The verb to go and to be are conjugated in exactly the same way. So if I were to say fui, that does mean either I went or I was. Now, you'd be able to work that out in context in Spanish, and we'll see that another time. So, first job then is to familiarize yourselves with these new irregular verbs. So, I repeat, ir, to go. We've got I went, you went, he, she, you formal went, we went, all of you went, and they went. Okay, I was, you were, he, she was, and so on. So familiarize yourselves. Look through the English here and write down for me the corresponding Spanish. Y las respuestas en 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to leave those up for you and to have a look through to see how you got on. Y finalmente, rellena los huecos con el verbo correcto y traduce las frases. So, what do you need to do here? You need to fill in the blanks with the correct verb and translate these sentences into English. All of these verbs will fit in a gap, but only one per gap, okay? There's never an opportunity for you to think, oh, I could use one or the other there. Okay, good luck, buena suerte. Y vamos a continuar en 3, 2, 1. Venga, número 1. Last week, I went to Italy with my family. 2. Yesterday, I ate a Russian salad. It was delicious. 3. Last night, she drank a glass of wine and I drank a juice or some juice. 4. My sister read a book. New structure here, new connectives. Mientras que whilst I wrote a letter. 5. My dog ate its dinner quickly and then vomited. How disgusting. 6, your challenge. My parents learned German in an evening class, and recently they went to Germany to practice. This bit is called a pluperfect tense. One for another time, I think. They went to Germany to practice what they had learned. Right, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. Keep practicing those verbs, and remember that the goal really is for you to be able to write using the preterite or speak using the preterite without having to look things up in a grid. So committing things to memory and keep practicing is essential. Anyway, until the next time, hasta luego, adios.